Hi everyone, welcome to the Whiteleyverse with me, Connor Whiteley, for another daily story with a chapter from one of my novellas. Before I start today's chapter, please remember to like, comment and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new content, and the engagement really helps the Whiteleyverse with the YouTube algorithm. Also, if you want to buy this book and any of my other fiction, then they're all available from all major ebook retailers. You can order the paperback and hardback copies from Amazon, your local bookstore and local library if you requested. Also, if you want the AI generated audiobook, then you can get it from selected audiobook platforms and library systems like Kobo, Spotify, Barnes & Noble, Google Play, Baker & Taylor, Biblioteca and Overdrive. Now, here's today's chapter. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did writing it.
Chapter 1. The 15th of March 2023. Canterbury, England. University Psychology. Tom Palmer was so excited for tonight as he sat down on the large fabric black sofa that dominated an entire corner of the shared kitchen he had with his flatmates at Kent University. He had no idea whose bright idea it was to have such a massive sofa completely taking up a corner, but it could have been worse, he supposed. Tom wasn't sure how it could be worse because him and his flatmates had very quickly realized whoever had the bottom drawer in the bright silver fridge freezer was going to have a hell of a job getting to their food, considering the gap between the freezer door and the end of the sofa was so small it was flat out impossible to open the door completely. Besides from that, Tom had to admit that this was one of the best kitchens he'd seen around campus. Tom liked the silver cabinets with their weird golden knobs and fake black marble worktops that were really just chipboard. The large kitchen island that served as a dinner table and somewhere else to prepare food was made from even more of the fake marble chipwood, but it looked good and it served its purpose, so Tom supposed it was okay. He knew that everyone cooking would never happen, and Tom had learnt a ton about international eating habits through who used the kitchen when. His very hot French friend and the Italian girl always cooked dinner together at about 8 p.m., whilst the Portuguese guy that Tom avoided like the plague cooked about 10 p.m. It was fascinating to see how different cultures prepared and cooked their dinners. And that was something Tom flat out loved about university. Tom just smiled to himself as he enjoyed the brief moment of silence. He couldn't deny that was the only problem with living in university halls, that the sheer amount of noise at night. It was bad enough when the person above him decided to have sex, and Tom could hear the bed move constantly. That was just mortifying. It was better, though, than people running up and down the corridors at night at 2 a.m. after returning from a party or something. It was one of the reasons why Tom liked going home in the breaks, so he could go to sleep before 2 a.m. Tom didn't care that it was such a small luxury, he was always going to treasure it. "Afternoon sunshine," a woman said as she came into the kitchen. Tom smiled at Jasmine as she came into the kitchen wearing her normal long black tracksuit, with her long brown hair flowing by her shoulders, and she was grinning like normal. Tom really hoped that her and her boyfriend were getting on better now, because she was definitely too great a woman to not have someone to love. As Jasmine came over, picked up a jug of orange juice on the side that had been there for 3 days, and drank it, Tom just shook his head and enjoyed the sweet aromas of oranges and lilacs and lavender that was definitely coming from Jasmine's perfume that Tom was surprised she didn't drown in half the time. At least it made the great taste of a warm summer picnic form on his tongue like he used to have with his family. He really needed to do that again at some point, but he wouldn't see his family for at least another few weeks during Easter break. "How's life?" Jasmine asked, like she always did when she was trying to ease into wanting something. As much as Tom wanted to cut to the chase, he really did like Jasmine too much to deny the so-called joy of easing into what she wanted. She was a great listener, a great friend, and she really did know how to help out with boys. "I thought you had a lecture," Tom asked, and he shook his head as Jasmine offered him a drink of juice. "Like you can talk." Tom smiled. She was hardly wrong, but his lecture had been moved to the morning when he normally went running, went to the gym with his friends, and at times he helped out at a local gay charity helping homeless gay youths. A charity that Tom really did love working for. I asked first, Tom said, sticking his tongue out. You know, this is my first year at uni. I can do whatever I want, and it's more fun spending time with Ben compared to lectures, Jasmine said. Tom couldn't deny that. As soon as he had learnt that his first year at university wouldn't count towards his final degree classification, he hadn't stopped trying, but he was a lot more relaxed about everything. Speaking of which, don't you have assignments or something that means you shouldn't be in here? Jasmine asked. Why do I get the feeling that you want to get rid of me? Tom asked, smiling. Because I may have asked Ben over, and I didn't want you giving him a hard time. Tom laughed to himself because he was happy that Ben and Jasmine were together, but he just didn't want to keep having to comfort Jasmine when she was hurt, upset, or Ben had said something mean to her. Thankfully that hadn't happened for months, but Tom also just wanted to sleep before 2 a.m. It was the main reason why he wanted Ben and Jasmine back together, but he wasn't going to tell her that. Tom hugged her. As long as he doesn't hurt you, I don't care if I see him or not. Thank you, Jasmine said, kissing him on the cheek. Where are you off to tonight? Tom grinned. He had been waiting for this all week, and he was so damn excited about it. So you know I came out to my parents properly last year, and I've been taking baby steps towards being gay, being part of the community, and so on? Jasmine nodded. Well, tonight all of us student ambassadors as part of the community are actually coming together to make a zine to try and bust the myths about the queer community, Tom said, knowing exactly how overexcited he sounded. Sorry, what's a zine? Jasmine asked. Tom shrugged. I have no idea, but that's why I'm going tonight. Jasmine nodded. Tom loved it, how she was trying to be encouraging, but she didn't know how much this meant to him. It wasn't really the making of the zine itself that mattered at all. The point was that he was going to be mixing with other gay people, having fun, and having conversations that even a year ago would have been impossible for him to have. Tom smiled at Jasmine because he could tell she was trying to be as supportive as she possibly could, but he normally had these conversations with his other friends on his psychology course. They actually had an input and something to say. Enjoy, Jasmine said as she downed her orange juice, and Tom just shook his head. He couldn't imagine anything worse than drinking 3-day-old orange juice, but if university wasn't a time to form bad habits, then when in life could you?
Welcome back everyone, it's me again, Connor Whiteley. So I really hope that you enjoyed today's story, because I flat out love writing, creating stories and sharing them with you. If you really enjoyed today's story, then please remember to like, comment and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new content, and the engagement really helps the Whiteleyverse with the YouTube algorithms. And if you want to buy this short story or any of my other fiction, then they're available from all major ebook retailers, and you can get them from your local library if you requested, and you can order the paperback copies from Amazon, your local bookstore or local library if you request it. Lastly, if you want to support the channel on a one-off basis, then you can now buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Connor Whiteley. Also, if you know anyone who would enjoy today's story, then please share it with them. I'm always really grateful when you wonderful people help spread the word about the channel. So, thanks for watching the Whiteleyverse, and I'll see you again soon. Have a great day, everyone.